In this past week's Parsha, Bamidbar, Hashem commands Moshe and Aaron to count the Jewish people. So it's a pretty interesting idea to just count them. The question is, why would they be counted? And the Ramban explains that amongst many issues and amongst many reasons, one of the main reasons was so that each individual member of the Jewish people could go in front of Moshe and Aaron, these two extremely holy people, and be looked at them with an ayin tov. So we often think about ayin hara, ayin tov, and the mystical elements to that, but it's clear that from the Ramban himself and from the Rabbeinu Yonah as well, that what that meant was really just looking at them with "you're good," a feeling of I view you as good. And the question that arises is, how do we do that? How do we become people who can just view others as good? And the Rabbeinu Yonah explains that the way to do that is by being someone who is sameach bechelko, by being someone who is content with their lot in life. And I think a little bit of an added dimension to that is really not just that you're content with what God has given you, but you're content with yourself as a person. When you can look at yourself and say, I'm good, I accept myself, that way it will be so much easier to accept others. It will become almost an inevitable therefore of exactly what Moshe and Aaron were capable of doing. They were so self-accepting that they were so able to accept others, which made them accept themselves as well. And I think one added dimension to this, just in the spirit of Shavuot, the holiday where we're accepting the Torah again from Hashem every single time, it's so crucial to recognize another pasuk in the Torah in this week's Parsha that said that just as when the Jewish nation was encamped, we had the Torah in the middle, we had the Shevet of Levi, the tribe of Levi in the middle, so too when they were traveling it would be in the middle. And the Chavetz Chaim learns from that's why we actually have a bima in the middle of our shul where we read the Torah. We could just as easily read the Torah in the front of the shul, and it wouldn't have been any more difficult, and in fact it might even make a little more sense. We should read it as close to the Aron as possible, as close to where we would assume the Shekhinah, God's presence, is coming down. And the Chavetz Chaim learns, he says, the reason for that is so that nobody should ever feel that they are not adequate enough for Torah, that everybody should recognize that they have a part in Torah. And it's so clear, a lot of the time we serve Hashem just because we feel like, you know what, I have to do this so that I can be good enough. But it's so the opposite, is that you're so good, we are so good and so accepted by Hashem that we have the right to Torah only because of how good we are and how great we are and how much He sees inside of us, that He wants us to connect to Him through that and see how He thinks, train our minds to think how He thinks. I give everybody a bracha that this Shavuot we should all feel so good about our relationship with Hashem, about our relationship with ourselves, others around us, everybody meaningful in our lives, and Chag Sameach, enjoy, take that moment to really appreciate yourself.